Hello and welcome back. We're going to share with you now a discussion and a demonstration around what we call MyEnterprise. MyEnterprise is your view as an individual into your organization. From your point of view, in other words, what are your tasks? What are all your messages? What are all the teams that you're a member of, and what's your role in those teams and so on? So your view into your organization, and we call that MyEnterprise. On the system, you can see in the top left-hand corner there's a heading called MyEnterprise, and that's where you can go to your home page where we're already residing. You can go and look at all your tasks, all your messages, the teams you're a member of, and you can drill down and have a look at all the accounts, users, and contacts in the system. Let's look at these one by one. If we drill down and have a look at my tasks, what it's going to do is give you a list of all the tasks that you have been allocated on the system. Now, before we go and look at these in any detail, let me talk about two words: responsible and accountable. When a task is created, a person is nominated as the accountable person. That is the person that is accountable to ensure this task is delivered on time. There are other people that are allocated responsibility for actually performing the task, doing the work. Now that could be one and the same person, or it could be the accountable person. By the way, it can only be one person held accountable. The accountable person then will hold the responsible people, ensure the responsible people perform the work. There can be one or more responsible people on a task. Okay, so let's make that clear. So this is a list of all the tasks for which you, as a signed-on person, have either accountability or responsibility for. So what it in brief gives you is by project, what the task is, the accountable person, the responsible person, and normally the signed-on person will be one or both of these people. A relevant contact. This is a contact within a customer site. Typically customer, it can be a supplier, that this task is relevant to. Why have we got this? Really important feature. If you're going to be talking to a customer individual, you need to, you here have the ability to going and looking at all the activity we've got that's relevant to that particular person before you go and talk to them. You can look at the status of activity. You can be ready in very quickly to be able to have that discussion, knowing exactly where you stand. So the system helps you do that by identifying this relevant contact. Due date, notice 3 tasks here are red. This means they're running late. Visually, you can see very quickly when you look at this screen how many tasks and which ones are you late on. You can see what the percentage, how complete each task is by looking at percentage complete, and so on. Very quick view of all the tasks in the system. By the way, you can present these in different ways. By clicking on show display and sort criteria, you can then select different criteria, the projects that you want the task displayed for, so you can selectively bring this down to just a handful of projects, or one project if you so wish. You can look at all tasks by a certain due date. So if we selected here 31st of December, then it would be only the task down to the 31st of December. Contacts. Again, we mentioned the contact before. These contacts here, we can then select a task just for a specific contact. So we choose Dennis Locke here, or you can choose by team by saying I just want to look at the tasks of which I've got of these particular teams. So choose just the teams you want. And then you can choose the sort criteria. We've got due date, but there's a number of other ones you could choose from as a primary or a secondary sort, and that's just the sequence in which the list is presented to you. So you present go with the change criteria, and the list will be presented. In this case, we've said all tasks due by the 31st of December, where the relevant contact is Dennis Locke, and there was only one task. That's tasks. My messages simply are all the messages that have been generated in the system of which you are a recipient. and therefore, and these messages are set up by what we call a discussion thread. There is a topic, and then all the team members that are invited to have a discussion on that topic can put their comments in. So if you look at this particular topic here, there was this initial comment made by Mertha, and then there's been 3 subsequent comments by 3 other individuals. This tells you that the initial comment was made by, or topic was created by Mertha, tells you the date, and tells you a project. Let me just close this for a second. This says build a bicycle was the project. The next one says team, example team. Next one says project, team, widgets, account team, and so on. So what that's telling you is where the message was originated. When you later on we look at going into a team or into a project on the team homepage or the project homepage, you'll only see the messages that are relevant to that team or relevant to that project. Here though, in My Messages, you see all messages in the system that are relevant to you. So different ways of looking at the same data. Let's go back and have a look at this one again. When you create a message, you'll identify who the message goes to. If it's a team, here you can say the core team or the full team. The full team means all the stakeholders that have got a stake in the outcome of that team, not just the people performing the work. The core team are the people performing the work on the project. You can also send in messages to individuals or selected multiple individuals as well. And as you can see, in reverse chronological order, you can see all the messages as they have occurred through the system up to the latest message, which in this case is this test topic here. My Teams will give you a view of all the teams that you are a member of in the system. In this case, there's 8 teams that this signed on person is a member of. It tells you what business unit the team is located in, what location, physical location that the team is managed out of, and the team purpose. And here there's an indication as to a parent. Now, teams can be hierarchically structured into parent-child relationships down through multiple levels. A child is a child to a parent. That child itself can be a parent to another child. So as many layers of teams as makes sense in your organization. This here indicates if this particular team does have a parent. If not, it's a primary team. If it does, then it's a subordinate team and could be down at multiple levels in the structure. Who created the team, the date it was created, the team leader, and so on. Notice on all these lists that we've been looking at up till now, some of these the team names and team names of people have got a hyperlink on them. Not all will, by the way. It's only those that you have authority to see and look into. So if we were to click on any of these team names, we would, and we'll click on widgets, we would be able to then drill down and have a look at detail on this team. We'll look at that in more detail at a later date, but it gives you access into the system and drill down into more and more detail. And then finally, the Enterprise Hub is an area where you can look at all the accounts in the system, your own account, your own organization, plus all the partnering organization and the users or contacts within those organizations. So if we were to look at the view accounts, these are all the customer or supplier accounts in your organization that your organization has a relationship with. And in this case, if we were to look at widgets and view users, then we can look at all the users in the widget accounts. Now, there are 2 delineations as to what a user is called. It can be a contact, which means they are not a user of the system, they have no login to the system, or they can be made to be a user, and that's when you've invited them to collaborate with you on the system and perform functions, projects, whatever the case may be. At this stage, you could also add a new user through this function here, and then you can add as many users as you so wish. You also in here can create a new account. Anything to do with relationship accounts, suppliers, customers, and partners, and the users that go with this. Or you can have a look at all the users of your own organization. So these are all the people in your own organization that have a sign-on, a log-on, and a capability to use the Custell software that we're looking at right now. So in summary, MyEnterprise gives you a view into the organization you work with, but from your point of view, looking at your tasks, your messages, and your teams, irrelevant from where they come from, it's your view into the enterprise. You can look into the enterprise from a different point of view by looking via application, for example, into teams or projects or sales strategies by following these menus down here. But this is really important at MyEnterprise level for giving you a very quick and easy view into what you have to do to perform your job around tasks, around messages, and looking at the teams and the team functions you need to perform in those teams. I hope this has been helpful. There is more information in the Resource Center on this. You can drill down and have a look at how every one of these functions works in detail. I implore you to do so. In the meantime, good luck with the system, and I'll see you on the next video.